Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you with a heavy heart and saying, your boy Ray failed. I'm sure we all know this by now, but your boy ain't super experienced with rank 35 pushing. I've only ever gotten one in the past, and that was with Mortis after about 7 different attempts. It was crazy. Now, in the most recent video that we made on this grind, I was only 100 trophies away, and it looked very, very promising in order to get the rank 35 on this season. So I want to get into what ended up happening, as well as some matches of our most recent push. So I hope you guys are all pumped up. Let's get straight away into it. Here we go! Oh boy, it hurts to see. We're currently at 1,000 trophies, tilted from the trophy reset here, but not gonna lie, 1,000 ain't too bad. I feel like we're at a good starting point moving forward in this trophy pushing season. Another thing that I gotta point out, guys, we are rank 33 once again, the cursed rank. I was stuck at this rank for about 4 or 5 different attempts with Mortis at rank 35. We were there, and then just one season we managed to get 34 and 35, but I hate this rank. It's my least favorite rank out of all of them. My goodness. Also, another thing you might notice that's a little bit out of the ordinary, we are using demolition. The last bit of pushing that we did, I was a demo Mike. It just didn't make sense. I wasn't jumping a whole lot anyways, so I managed to just kind of make the decision to go with more DPS. Being able to one-shot certain brawlers in the game is very, very good, and getting that stun, applying as much damage, jumping sometimes just wasn't important. But taking a look at kind of what is ahead of us here, as you guys can see, we have 27 days and 14 hours remaining on this trophy pushing season, so it's definitely safe to say that we have a good shot at getting this. 250 trophies in 27 days I think is manageable, and I'm going to be doing it right away, right off the get-go. I want to start today, try to get it done as fast as I can. And another clock that is looming above our heads, as you can see, we have 48 days left in the season of the Brawl Pass, so once that goes to 0, this account will be completely ruined, so we at least need to get that rank 35 before that time. But as we're getting into some of these matches, I just want to go over basically what ended up happening, because it did look really, really well where we were sitting in that last video. We were only 100 trophies away, getting close to the harder end push of the grind, right? Once you get to 1,200, you only go up by 3 trophies as opposed to 4, so if you end up losing, it takes 4 matches to get your trophies back at that range. It's very, very daunting and very, very scary. But what ended up happening is around that point, we were targeted quite heavily in the sniping community. We were targeted a lot by a few different people. We would lose by someone, which is understandable. It happens sometimes, but then they would hop on a new account and then snipe us again. So the majority of our push after that video that I showed you was just making up tilted trophies from sniping. So that is definitely very, very unfortunate, but just know your boy is just as revved up and geared up for this rank 35 push as ever. It takes a lot to get me discouraged on a push. I still am enjoying myself and having a good time with Dynamike, but basically what we're going to have to do moving forward is playing with really, really good teammates. I don't typically play with like super well-known pro players in the community and stuff like that, just so I can avoid people saying in the comments that you're getting carried and stuff like that. I like to think that I can hold my own in a match up against good players for a rank 35 push, or at least just carrying out my duties in order to not hold up my teammates that much. But what we were coming to find is the teammates that I was playing with before, I loved them. Nathan and Hermie did an amazing job, and I still love playing with them, but because of the comp that we were using, we were getting sniped even more. So it looks like we need to go with really well-known pro players like we are going with in this match, Alec as well as Bobby, to avoid being targeted as much of being sniped. But either way, we might end up being targeted even more, but at least we have really good players to go up against the people who are sniping us, right? So hopefully we'll be able to keep up this flow for the majority of the match, but that's the reason, guys. Hey, I try my absolute best. I was playing fairly decent, but when you go up against a team that directly counters you and the brawlers that you're playing with, it's very, very hard to go up in trophies. So now that you guys know basically what is happening over here, I saw a lot of your guys' comments in most recent videos asking where's the push, how's the push doing and stuff like that. So hopefully we're all on the same page now. I'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop once we get rank 35. You already know there's going to be a video on it, and I'm very much so looking forward to that day. But next I want to get into some of these matches that we did on our very last night of our push while using demolition. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm a pretty decent demolition Dyna. Landing those stuns and getting down that big super on certain brawlers is really, really stellar. But in this game, we're up against a Dynamike, a Tara, and a Jessie, and I don't really remember what ends up happening in these matches, so I might play bad, I might play good, we'll have to end up seeing. So going down to the Dynamike there, again, we're playing with Alec as well as Bobby, two phenomenal players here in the community. Alec on Tara and Bobby on Jean. Bobby amazing at Jean, I think it's his favorite brawler. And Alec did really, really good with Tara. He's just good all around with a lot of different brawlers. But as you can see there, Tara offsetting that push so that they couldn't get in on the gems, so Bobby could spawn back into lane and secure the gems. I'm just firing over supportive damage, trying to keep that Tara as well as Dynamike controlled there, and we are using jump at this point. I must have switched a little bit down the line, but I'll hop into some matches while we're playing some demo here. But not a bad game. That's basically what ended up happening during most of the push. Just kind of control-based gameplay. Some heartbeater moments would happen, but we managed to secure the win. But next, you guys, getting into the more recent games during this grind, the last like 4-ish, I'm most definitely using demolition here, so just showing you guys what this is all about. We're up against a Poco, a Bee, and a Sandy. Pretty dang good comp for this map. The Sandy is always really, really tricky to deal with. Any brawlers that have a bit of movement speed up against Mike is just super, super tricky. But what you'll end up seeing is the different things that I typically do with Dynamike that I have been showing you guys a lot in this gameplay is loving to activate the gadget before they get into lanes, so it's more of like a surprise stun and they can't avoid it. It works out really, really well. But taking down that Poco there with the basic attack super, waiting for the Jean to come back into lane, managing to land that super as well, taking him out with one shot. Guys, I've gotten a lot more respect for demolition. It's a lot of fun to use. The damage, the 1,000 additional damage is just a lot of fun. But doing what I literally just got done talking about, throwing down that stun gadget before the Jean, or before the Sandy ended up knowing what I was doing, just to keep them under wraps. Getting that kill gives you about like 10-15 seconds to get more gems and just try to secure your lane even more. But tossing down a super, trying to scare off the Bee, we got countdown there, 6 and 4 on the Tara. So we just got to stay alive at this point. Bobby doing a phenomenal job just doing that poke damage. Me trying to throw stick ahead of the Poco so that his only objective is to go forward, so it's more than likely going to land, and managing to pick up the win. Fairly decent game, I would say. So getting into one of the more stressful matches of this push, the team that we're up against are at like 1,180 trophies, a very solid team, and a really good comp. As you can see, this is kind of staple. 8-bit mid, got Sandy on the right, Tara on the left. We go down relatively quick, and at this time I'm still using Dyna Jump, so maybe we'll get a good example as to why Dyna Jump at this range just isn't all that useful, right? Sometimes just the added damage is just way better than the mobility that Dyna Jump provides. But enemy team having basically full control at the start of it, and it's really, really hard to get back into lane when you get the cycled Sandy supers down, and just when a Tara or a Sandy are in lane, we are just getting absolutely demolished here. It feels bad, I have to say. We are now getting pressured. We are getting bullied here, so we'll see how this turns out. I forget what even happened. So Tara trying to get the Tara again, but we basically just have to get one lane down, right? We just need to kill one person, move up through that lane, and try to take it down through that lane. So Bobby landing a really, really good pull on the Tara there. You can see Alec and Bobby shifting to the left lane. We end up going down to the Sandy. But we'll see if we can make things happen. The enemy team are running things for the majority of this. Alec with a really, really good super there, but the enemy Tara using a super as well to offset that. And things are getting stressful. We throw down a super to try to take out those walls, making it easier for the Jean to land his chip damage. A phenomenal pull by Bobby. Alec trying to secure the gems. He now is our gem carrier. We must keep him safe at all costs. They are sitting at 11. I have a gadget queued up, waiting for the Tara to come into lane, but we missed the gadget. We're getting caught off guard. My goodness, they're pushing in. They're trying to win at all costs, but Bobby with his long range there on Jean, taking him down, then getting a good pull. And that is your dagger. That should win us the game there. So I go up to the bushes here up top to camp, try to get a stun down on the Sandy, able to do so. Throw down super and a basic attack. We got another super. This is what Dynamike excels at, man. When you have control over a lane, it's so dang easy to land your shots, and things just went our way there. Okay, so getting straight away into our next match here. Another very, very stressful game. I believe the Rosa is at like 1,000 trophies, so formidable players for sure. So with the help of Jean as well as Tara there in the left lane, they managed to take down the tanky Rosa. And here on the right lane, I'm just doing my best just to keep the Tara busy there and not get poked as much as I can. Even with the clones coming in the Tara shadows, you just gotta kind of do your best to just get that poke damage in and freak out the Tara so he doesn't come collapsing in on you and then the Jean following after. But here we go, gearing up, trying to land a gadget. We managed to land the gadget. In that situation, I don't care about the shadows. I'm going in for those basic attack shots to try to take her out and get my lane back, baby. So we use the super to take down that 4x4 on the right. Definitely very, very good up against a Piper as the mid. We do the same exact thing. We're about to die by the shadows, but we don't care. We just want to kill the Tara. And again, I'm going to do the same exact thing, take down those walls, get those out of there, and then the Piper has a really, really hard time in mid lane. Doing those things, helping out your teammates in those ways, I think is very, very important. But here we go. We have a Tara trying to approach us in lane, but just trying to create a wall with our basic attacks so that she can't come in any closer. Throwing down a few basic attacks against the Piper, freaking her out, managing to land a double stick on her, then out capitalizing, taking down the Piper. Without the security of those walls, I feel like it made a huge, huge difference. So on a map like this, if you're pushing Dynamike, try to do that to help out your mid. It works out really, really well, unless it hurts your team comp, I guess. With aggro brawlers, it might be best to keep those walls up, but another pretty dang good game, right? Not too shabby. So getting into our final match of today's video, I wanted to throw in a match up against very assassination type brawlers. So brawlers that you don't want to mess around with as a Dynamike. As you can see, going into the lane with that crying face, I'm nervous. The mortars with a thumbs up. That is literally what we're feeling inside. But here we go, trying to hold down the left lane. In this situation, a lot of the time, like if you're laned up against a Brawl, you know just hard counters you, just go to the opposite lane. Just keep switching back and forth. But here I just do my best to hop around and do my thing. Thankfully, during this time, we're using Dyna Jump, so we have somewhat of a chance up against the mortars. But then again, I'm doing the same exact strats that I've been doing all night with Dynamike here, trying to take out those 4x4s. Definitely important to do up against a Bell. Without the security of those walls, it's a little bit more tricky, especially when you have a Jean as a mid there. But taking down the Bell with the help of Tara as well as Jean, doing a good job synchronizing that pull along with the basic attacks. Jean pressuring the mortars, taking down the mortars, and now it's just a 2v2. We got a Crow and a Bell. My goodness. Bobby is just popping off like a madman, taking down the Crow as well as the Bell and the mortars. Not the Bell. The mortars just doing a phenomenal job in lane, landing a stun there on the Crow, trying to do our part here as well, throwing down a super, freaking out the mortars, trying to predict where he's going to dash. Crow jumping in, but it's not going to make a lot of difference. There's a lot of DPS with a Tara and a Jean. Things are going just fine. The only thing that we have to be kind of careful of is the mortars just coming in and snagging the gems, but Alex sees right through that, uses a super to take down the mortars, coming in clutch once again. We got the double pull. You could tell, hey, that Bell wasn't getting away from that situation. It was either the pull or the suck. You're screwed either way. That's for dang sure. But another phenomenal match and relatively easy push, in my opinion. This map went really, really well for us. But yeah, guys, like I said before, that was our last match. I just wanted to update you all on basically where we're at with the push. I just wanted to kind of highlight the ups and downs, right? We're having a little bit of a down moment at this point, but make sure you know, your boy Ray don't quit. Even though we're cursed here at the rank 33, your boy's going to get this rank 35 and get him in this club and make sure this account is basically out there forever as a trophy in my eyes. So yeah, everyone, hopefully you have been enjoying these pushing videos as of recently. I would like to continue doing these on different accounts as well here in the very near future, so you can expect this to be somewhat as a staple here on my channel to break up some of my other uploads here. But yeah, everyone, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really, really appreciate that. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Adios, you guys.